Live from the Crusader Forum on the campus of Archbishop Riordan High School. This is West Catholic Athletic League basketball here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. Happy Friday to everyone. We've got a huge city matchup for you on this fine Friday evening. What was a beautiful day in the city has turned into a cool night, and we are indoors and we can feel the heat coming off Rastadi Court as these two city rivals get set to play their second matchup in WCAL play this season, as Riordan is hosting SI tonight from the Forum. Bob Green along with Cameron, Bevan, Abel, and Cam. Tonight, the Crusaders, with that 8-game winning streak in league play, top team in the WCAL, are trying to protect their home court against a very game St. Ignatius team. Very game St. Ignatius team, which is coming off of a win over Sacred Heart Cathedral. Pat Sagerson already let me know I'm wrong. Riordan only 7-1, 7-game winning streak, going for 8 in a row tonight against the Wildcats.
Well, I did my research on this. This is the biggest Riordan winning streak in WCL play since 2007. So it's, of course, a really good season for the Crusaders. And I'm very excited for this game. It's a great rivalry. The schools don't like each other. Riordan embarrassed them on SI's home court earlier this season. So let's see how the...
Okay, Cam, I would disagree a bit. I think the schools like each other just fine. It's a friendly rivalry indeed in the city. Of course, both of these programs, very proud programs, and they come into this game having both played well recently. Of course, the Crusaders have that aforementioned winning streak of just the 7 games at 7-1, but they're the top team alone atop the West Catholic Athletic League standings. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are coming off a win against their other city rival, their longer time city rival, Sacred Heart Cathedral. So you got to imagine they're feeling pretty good about themselves. And this evening, if you're checking out the screen, you probably notice a lot of people are wearing white. It's a whiteout tonight at the Crusader Forum.
Oh yeah, everybody dressed in white. It's always great to be festive for these great rivalry games. Like you said, SI just beat SH, and we're getting a lot of all these rivalry games, inner city WCL games are always good fun.
So the band, obviously you can hear them. They are in full throat down on the court, and we are just about ready for basketball. In a little bit here, we will have the pregame prayer, the national anthem, the starting lineups, and then the tip-off here from the Crusader Forum, the top team in all of the WCAL, Riordan, against one of their city rivals, St. Ignatius, here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. Ron Isola.
Archbishop Riordan High School, and this evening's WCL contest between the Singing Nations Wildcats and the Riordan Crusaders. At this time, I ask you to please stand for our pregame prayer, followed by the national anthem. As a Catholic school with a Marianist tradition, we begin all activities by asking for God's blessing. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. God in heaven, we come before you tonight, and we give you thanks for your many blessings. May the actions of all here this evening, players, coaches, and fans, always reflect your love for all people. Please keep all the athletes free from injury, and may they be strengthened in mind, body, and soul to do their very best. And together we pray the Marianist doxology. May the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be glorified in all places through the Immaculate Virgin Mary. Amen.
All right, Bob Green with Cameron, Bevan, Abel, and the band is making its way up into the stands, into the spot next to the area where the unofficial student section is centered tonight. Of course, the band is really the unofficial student section center, if you will, literally and figuratively. And now here are our starting lineups given to us through these announcements by Ron Isola.
The senior, number 13, Daniel Webster. A sophomore, number 22, J.C. Rivera. And a junior, number 54, Ethan Chu.
All right, the starting lineups have been announced. Rob Marcolay, the head coach of St. Ignatius, sending out King Wilhite, Rory Keneally, Daniel Webster, Giancarlo Toledo Rivera, and Ethan Jew. It's a young team that he has. Wilhite, only a freshman, Keneally, a sophomore, and Toledo Rivera, a sophomore. Jew is a junior, Webster a senior. Meanwhile, Joey Curtin in his third year as head coach of his alma mater. He's got his pretty regular starting lineup at this point out there. The three guards, Hubbard, Clark, and Monroe. Dominic Wilson at the forward spot, and Big Morsek, the man in the middle. The Crusaders are a lot bigger and frankly more athletic than this SI team. But the Wildcats have won 2 in a row. They're coming off that win over Sacred Heart Cathedral, so they've got a good bit of confidence going. The Crusaders in white. The Wildcats in the dark uniforms. And we are not yet underway. And now we are. And Jelani Clark has it. And how about this? Jelani Clark now has appeared in more games than any other Crusader ever in varsity basketball history in Riordan's long and prestigious history. His 101st contest as a Crusader just got underway. He's, of course, wearing number 0, and he's got it now. But he loses it, and it's a turnover, so Webster has it. So not a great start for the Crusaders 30 seconds in. The last time these two teams played, Riordan won big, 65-40, in a game that really wasn't that close. SI hit some shots in the second half to make it seem as if they were hanging around, but all in all, Riordan controlled the game, and right now, the Wildcats give it back to the Crusaders due to the travel.
A couple sloppy plays early. Let's see how these teams shaping it up in the next coming possessions.
Here's Lee Hubbard, who had an excellent ball game the first time these two teams played in the Sunset. Clark from the logo, and that was way off the mark. The last time we broadcast the game was a week ago tonight. It was against St. Francis, and the Lancers played a ton of zone, and the Crusaders made them pay, making 10 three-point attempts. Tonight, at least in the early going, SI is in a bit of a zone. They're lagging off. Here's Keneally, the sophomore, spinning. Good job by Wilson, but somehow they got the ball to Jew, and Jew missed the shot. Might have been blocked by Morsek. Webster on the reload, no good. And so far, the offense has not been there for either team. Very big crowd tonight, and that might be causing a bit of nerves for these young men. Hubbard a wide open 3. Still no points. Wilhite's a very talented freshman. You see it there as he's blocked by a Morsek going in. Clark the other way. Out to Monroe, a wide open 3. Bryce is off with it. And Webster controls the board. It's very loud in here. It's incredibly loud in this place, but no scoring. Just a lot of noise and defense.
Well, Riordan playing great defense, but can't really get a shot to go so far in this game.
This is the loudest I can remember it being in here, to be honest, maybe save for that game against Sacred Heart Cathedral on the night we dedicated the floor to Kevin Rastani a couple of seasons ago. Still a lid on the basket. Jelani Clark had an electrifying game the first time these two teams played in the early portion of January. Riordan missed a shot, and nearly as soon as SI got the ball, the Wildcats give it back to the Crusaders. So we're almost 3 minutes into this and no points for either team.
Oh, yeah, it's been sloppy play from both offenses.
Last year in the game here, in front of a huge crowd, SI, which had lost the first contest, got way ahead. I think it was like 15-0 before Riordan had actually scored in the game, and they really rode that early advantage to a victory. Bryce Monroe gets us going on the scoreboard in terms of points. He leans in and lays it home. And they're going to call an illegal screen on Ethan Jew. Jelani Clark wore the screen, and a turnover.
Yeah, another sloppy play by the Wildcats offense. They just cannot seem to catch a break so far.
So 4.5 to go here, opening quarter, 2-0 Riordan. That's it. 2 points by Bryce Monroe, the all-league guard. One of the two that Riordan has on its roster. Here's Morsek, triple teamed, and he lost it. Stripped, good defense by the Cats. Here's Wilhite, bounces to Jew. Jew patient, scores it, plus the foul. Ethan Jew's pretty crafty, and right there he showed the ability to be crafty around the basket.
Oh, that's a very skilled play by the big man. Morsek a lot taller, but he's kind of using Moore's height to his advantage and get him off balance and gain the foul off of him and scoring.
Robert Vaihola, one of the big men on this Riordan team, who has been both a starter and a key player off the bench, is still unavailable due to that hand injury he suffered against Valley Christian earlier this month. I say earlier this month as we're in the final day of January tonight. 3-point play gives the Wildcats a lead. 3-2 here. Good pass, Lee Hubbard inside to Morsek, and he lays it home. Hubbard passed the ball and just played exceptionally well in general against the Wildcats on January the 10th, and there he made a nice play. And then Jelani Clark whistled for a foul. I believe that's Tony Booker, the official. Jelani didn't like the call, but Book felt like he got him on the body as he stole the ball.
I've liked what we've seen from Jelani in the defensive end. Last broadcast he had a great game, got a couple steals, and now he's kept the intensity to start this game.
Riordan has made it very hard for the Wildcats throughout now the almost 5 quarters they've played. Made it very hard on the Wildcats offensively. They have been able to do that. They have been able to get some 3 attempts off. They got one there, it was contested and missed. Monroe hangs, can't finish. Morsek back up, that does finish in the basket.
He's just too tall for them.
It's a problem for a lot of rosters. It's especially a problem for this Wildcat roster. They just don't have the size or really the athleticism around the rim to deal with him. There's a nice finish by the freshman with the left hand.
I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years in Morsek and seeing how he can develop his game. He has a lot of potential. As
are the Wildcats with King Wilhite, very talented player who was really held in check by Lee Hubbard the first time these two teams met, but he's an exceptional talent, and he showed it there. Dom Wilson, left block, goes up, can't get it to go. He stays with it, but knocks it out of bounds. So the crowd is really filling in, and it felt like about 15 minutes ago that it would be a big crowd, but not one of the enormous Crusader Forum crowds, but no more. That is not the case right now. It is rocking in here, and it is pretty full.
It's the most crowded game, I think, all season here. And it's always good fun, these rivalry games. Everyone wants to see it.
Hubbard fouls Wilhite. Very nifty dribbling by the freshman, and Lee Hubbard's a top defender, but in this game, great offense beats great defense, and we saw it there. We got our first subs of the game for the Crusaders. Rini and Chan Mayat check out into the game for the Crusaders, the cousins. And a couple of new faces for the Wildcats. Karush Khan, who wears number 15, who just made that pass to King Wilhite, will stay with the Wildcats. Ryan Conroy wears number 23, also newly into the game. Heck, I said a couple of new faces, but it looks like more than that. Malcolm McCray-Hill, another new player out there, wears number 2 for St. Ignatius. And Zachary Taylor-Smith, who just got that rebound. Second chance, no good. A third chance, still no basket, but another shot at it again, perhaps. Wildcats couldn't get a shot up there. They still got plenty of time on the shot clock because they keep getting all these boards. Then King Wilhite forces up a 3, no good, and Hubbard leads the break. Great pass, Lee Hubbard. Bryce Monroe took his eye off of it, and it's out of bounds to St. Ignatius.
That's disappointing on the fast break, but that last defensive possession by Chan Nagat was amazing. Multiple deflections, like some great on-ball defense.
Here comes Sean Quantico, who's been playing much, much better as a sophomore, really getting his feet wet a little bit early in the season as he tried to find his way, and now he's really establishing himself as a part of this rotation. Made a big 3 late in the ball game, actually the last points of the game in the win over Serra, last points of the game for the Crusaders, win over Serra on Tuesday, and he made multiple 3s here last Friday against St. Francis, and right now he's in the middle of what has everybody upset because it looked like with the off arm that could have and maybe very well should have been an offensive foul on SI, but instead Sean is whistled for the personal.
Well, he may be a sophomore, but he's earned his minutes. He's played some good ball, especially in the last couple of games.
Karush Khan in possession, and he gets a screen, and he goes to the basket, and he's too strong with it. Good defense by Jelani Clark, who has it now. Clark, oh, what a look with the left hand. Rini with the finish.
What a dime by Jelani Clark. That is unbelievable.
Off the dribble, switching hands, goes to the left hand, and with the one-hand pass, no look to boot for the basket to Rini. Riordan by 3 here, this low-scoring opening quarter. Wilhite, what a nifty move, and what a shrewd play. He didn't go all the way up and reach up like you normally do on a layup attempt. He just flipped it low, kept it away from the defender. The foul is whistled, the basket is good, and we're a free throw away from a tie game. So Wilhite was really held at bay the first time these two teams played, but he has come out very strong tonight. He's going to sit down off the make. Webster's going to return to the action. And he'll be the top scorer out there right now for SI. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical at about 30 seconds. 8-all is our score here. Good look by Chan inside to Rini, and that was a foul and they didn't call it. McCray-Hill got away with one there on the push on the layup attempt, and now SI will have a chance at the final shot as Conroy has the basketball. Now Webster getting it from Con, and he attacks, and he scores, and that probably should have been a foul on Jelani Clark. SI up 2, final moments. Jelani Clark, no good. So 1 period in the books here at the Crusader Forum, and it's the visitors closing the quarter strongly. They score the final 5 of the quarter, and after 8 minutes they lead it 10-8 here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. Welcome back here, Bob Green, along with Cameron, Bev, and Abel. And Cam, that first quarter was pretty sloppy by both teams, but give SI credit. The Wildcats, the young Cats, really closed that 8-minute quarter really well, and they have the lead because of it.
Westside kind of looked a little shook in the beginning. They kind of lost the ball several times to start the quarter, but they kind of got in rhythm a little later. They got some good looks in the lane, and they finished the quarter really strongly, and they're up by 2 right now.
So in front of what is now a very full house, we begin the second quarter with the Wildcats in possession, the road team up 2. And it's Karush Khan in possession, and King Wilhite is back in the game, being absolutely blanketed, his every move watched by Lee Hubbard. Here's Webster. Quantico strips him. He gets it back. Good defense by Sean. Now McCray Hill too strong. Good contest by Morsek. Chan the outlet to Jelani, who steps in. They're going to call a block. And half of the team for SI is up off the bench and on the court, it seems. They don't like the call, but guess what? One of those guys has played 101 varsity basketball games. The other has it. That's a blocking foul. Really good defense if you consider the fact that that Euro step by Jelani is really his signature move. It's become his signature move over the years, and he performed that move exceptionally well multiple times in the game the first time these two teams played this season. Both free throws down, and now Riordan shows some pressure. Now they back out of it in the man-to-man. Chance of defense from the student section, which is now down on the floor for Riordan. So it's loud in here. They came ready. They love those T-shirts. You give them a T-shirt, all of a sudden they come to the game. Nice basket there on the baseline by Wilhite.
It looked surely like that pass to go out of bounds. The player was not in position yet, but he got to it and scored.
Ooh, Jelani Clark with the great body control and off the window. Reties the game.
He made that look easy.
Wilhite somehow got it off to a teammate. That's Jackson Kennedy, who missed the easy one in the lane and then out of bounds. And they say it's purple and gold ball. So Kennedy sits down. It looks like Ethan Jew has returned to the fray. Jelani, ooh, what a pass to Sean Quantico, who's strong. Chan with the easy one on the tip-in. Great job by Chan to get inside position, and then he calmed himself down and put it off the backboard and in.
He's provided some good minutes off the bench so
He was huge, figuratively and literally, in the game against Serra earlier this week. The big win, the 2-point win at the Padres. How about this? Morsek with the defense. And Jelani Clark will shoot 2.
How about Morsek running on that play?
Now you want to know why Division I coaches are drooling over Morsek? The size is the size, but it's that. It's the size with that, the ability to move like that.
His energy is unbelievable. I mean, like to see a 7-1 guy to go off the break on that.
That one lips out for Jelani. Second one for Jelani coming now as Rory Keneally is checked back in for St. Ignatius, as has the other sophomore starter, Toledo Rivera. Toledo Rivera can really shoot it. Hasn't had a chance to do that tonight, but he's a sharp shooter. Ooh, what a move by Webster, but he can't get it to go. His teammate was going back up, but got stripped. Keneally got stripped, and here come the Crusaders. Out to Jelani, 3 up and short, but Jelani got it back. And he goes in for the easy one, and that does, with a little bit of English, stay down.
Jelani has been everywhere this game.
He's literally everywhere. His energy level is off the charts, and Rob Marcoletti needs a timeout. 5:13 to go here before halftime. Riordan has engaged this game in a big way in this second quarter, and they have turned a 10-8 deficit into a 17-12 lead here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. So out of the timeout, Riordan with the 5-point lead with just over 5 minutes to go here before halftime. Back on defense against the Wildcats, who have 2 points so far in this second quarter. Ethan Ju going to work on Chan. Chan stays down, makes him give it up. Keneally no good, but he gets his own miss. 3-pointer on the way for the youngster. That's way off the mark. That was rushed by Toledo Rivera. Here's Jelani in complete control in this game right now. Now Hubbard. Outside to Sean. Good catch by Quantico. And it's Clark again. Way outside. No good. That was short. Those are deep threes. They're on line, but just a bit short of the intended target. Will Height. Good hesitation. He got fouled. They don't call it. And it's Riordan ball off of Keneally. Bryce Monroe's going to check back in. His fellow senior all-league guard, Jelani Clark, sits down. Bryce Monroe, great scorer.
Lee Hubbard takes the ball up the court.
Yeah, Hubbard's bringing it up, so they're going to try to get Bryce the ball, I would imagine. Some sort of down screen, and now they go inside to Morsek, and that pull-up jumper, which he has shown in recent ball games, not there that time.
If he gets that jumper consistently,
he makes that. Just tip your cap and move on. Here's Webster. Really good defense by Quantico. Then he gets beat, but the teammates are there to help him. Keneally a 3. That's down. That was a much-needed shot for the Wildcats, and we've got a 2-point game again.
Lee Hubbard pass the Quantico, back to Hubbard, to Nagat, the SI player, Bates.
Very odd first half in a lot of ways.
Got Sek in the post.
Sek too strong on the turnaround. And that was, I think, because of the way the reestablishment rules work, I don't think Chan had reestablished. I think it should have been off of him. As it is, Morsek can't get it to go.
That was an unbelievable rebound.
Yeah, I know, and the Wildcats have it. Now this 3 is up, and that is down by Giancarlo Toledo Rivera.
Now the Wildcats up by 1.
And St. Ignatius has turned the tide. A couple of threes. The 3-ball can do that. And what was a 5-point deficit for the road team is now a 1-point advantage. Timeout. Now Riordan here. So you think about those 2 made threes, Cam. One came off of an offensive rebound where you get it outside and get another chance at it. The other one came in transition. Both good ways for the Wildcats to get threes and make threes. They can get in rhythm that way. 3 minutes to go here before halftime, and now SI up 1. There's Lee Hubbard in possession outside Dom Wilson. And that's true from 3. Dom Wilson has really elevated his game in that regard, especially the outside shot.
We've seen him hit some rhythm threes, like some games this season. He's got to hit them more consistently, but it's been a part of his game.
Here's Webster guarded by Quantico. He'll spin in the lane. Now outside to Jew, ball free, and a turnover. As Sean Quantico, one thing he wasn't doing early in the year as a sophomore, he was a little uneasy on offense, but especially on defense. He was caught in between. Sean's greatest asset on defense is the energy that he can provide. His older brother showed a lot of that here as a member of the Purple and Gold, and you see it right there. Really for him on defense, it's going to be about angles, using his mind, and effort, and that was all on display right there. Good passing back into the hands of Monroe. Now Quantico. Good defense by the Wildcats, but better offense by the Crusaders. All that good passing leading to an open wing 3. And Bryce Monroe sticks it. And Riordan, just like that, has the 5-point advantage back.
Bryce Monroe loves that 3 ball. That's been a part of his game for a couple years now.
We've seen this since Monroe has come back. He's played off the ball more since he's come back from injury. And then he'll have his chances and he'll really get going. A real spark plug, which is an amazing thing to say about a 2-time All-League guard. Now a jump ball, and the arrow is in favor of Riordan. And you almost feel it. You almost feel it when Riordan decides, okay, we're going to turn it up, we're going to play with force, that the Wildcats, they're a talented team, they're a young team, and they may not quite be ready to play against this Crusader team playing at their best. Clark off a really good pass from Monroe, but he can't get it to go.
2 players on the ground after that. Deep 3.
Now Riordan runs back, and it's going to be Monroe up, and he'll shoot 2. Rob Marcoletti's fired up. One thing I give Coach Marcoletti credit for, he engages the game. He coaches the game with all he's got. He knows his team is young, but he believes in them, and he's coaching like a guy who believes his team has a chance tonight, and they're playing like it.
I just love the energy from Bryce Monroe and Jelani Clark early there. They're really trying to control this game.
By the way, Cam, look around. It is absolutely packed in here. It's not just packed in a general sense. There's a ton of students, a great mixture of adults, parents, alums. It's kind of an eclectic collection of folks from the city who care about these 2 schools. It's pretty neat to see. 1 out of 2 on the foul line for Bryce. And a minute to go here in this first half. Here's Kahn. And he tried to get it to his teammate there, and he did somehow. But then a turnover. Lee Hubbard defensively, and Bryce Monroe as well, making things happen. 8 turnovers now for the Wildcats. Only 2 for the Crusaders.
The sloppiness continues on that play.
Well, it's sloppiness that's created by your opponent, frankly. It's not
great on-ball defense.
It's not unforced.
The Crusaders. This whole entire game, really.
Jelani Clark, yes! From right about the Kevin Rustani court logo over there. Riordan up 9. Shot clock off for under 20 seconds to go here. That was a travel, they didn't call it. Now we're down to 10 seconds. Kahn stripped by Chan. Jelani has it, bounces ahead to Dom. How about that for an ending of a half? Riordan scores the final 12. And we head to the break with the Crusaders on top of the Wildcats, 29-18. Listen to this crowd. So, Cam, I don't know if the audience got the halftime stats that you just gave us. So why don't you go run that back again as we finish up halftime here.
All right, Archbishop Riordan, they're shot 42.3% from the field, 50% in the second quarter. SI shot 29.2% from the field. Archbishop Riordan's leading scorer is Jelani Clark with 10 points, and SI's leading scorer is King Wilhite with 7 points. Well, one of the reasons why the Crusaders are up by double digits is really the turnover ratio. Archbishop Riordan only committing 2 and SI committing 9.
So here we are finishing up halftime. Bob Green along with Cameron Bevan Abel. Riordan on that 12-0 run turned a 1-point deficit at 18-17 into a 29-18 halftime advantage. The three-pointer big for SI to take the lead after being down 5, and then the three-pointer big for the Crusaders to take the lead back and have the double-figure lead as we get ready to start this third quarter.
Before the last couple minutes, the Wildcats were really hanging in there in a great defensive battle, but Riordan kind of cut loose and got off to some scoring.
Well, the first time these two teams played, Jelani Clark electrified in a lot of different ways, including that primetime dunk that everybody saw. It felt like it went viral. He didn't have a moment quite like that in the first half, but he had some big moments, especially in that run. And he was key for the Crusaders. Chan was big. Bryce Monroe had a big three-pointer. And, of course, the defensive Lee Hubbard. Morsek early was good as well. Wildcats start with the ball. And right away, Wilhite will shoot 2 as he was fouled shooting a jump shot at the foul line.
Freshman is playing really well. He's the leading scorer, actually.
One thing about his game that I didn't totally realize, and this is my first chance to really watch him close. The first game I was there, kind of as an administrator on the side. I didn't get to watch him that close. Of course, he was held pretty much in check in that one. I didn't realize how much he kind of stops and starts and how much that affects the defense. He's got to be hard to stay with because he's very quick, but he's also got that ability to not just go forward fast, but also stop quickly, and he's kind of hesitating, and he's keeping you off balance with the way he plays and handles the ball. First possession of the second half for Riordan, and it starts with a Jelani Clark 3 that's off the mark. So not a great possession for the purple and gold. And we've got a 9-point game with SI having the ball. And now Riordan has it again. Bryce Monroe. Lob, Clark, the dunk! That was exceptional. Coming up the baseline from the right. Monroe saw him, floated it perfectly, and Jelani soared in. That was high level. You don't see that in a lot of high school games. There's a travel no call out to King. His 3, that's no good.
Jelani got really high up there.
Way out ahead, and good defense by Toledo Rivera to swat that away. And now
Jelani
SI
trying
has
to push it up again.
Don Wilson tracks it down. And now Riordan runs back. And another lob. And another dunk. And that was incredible, too, in its own way. Both lobs tossed up expertly by Bryce Monroe. And SI is going to take time. So, Cam, I don't know which one was more impressive. The lob and dunk by Jelani, or the lob by Bryce and the dunk by Jelani was exceptional. The lob on the second one was special because of the fact that the 7'1" guy just kind of snapped it out of the air with one hand and stuffed it home.
Hey, what did I just see? I mean, two magnificent dives by Bryson Rowe. The first one, Jelani Clark on the receiving end. I mean, like, he's tall, but he's only like 6'3". Like, he's
the 1-2 Clark
he got
though
up there.
was impressive because it was a great amount of unspoken communication. Where Jelani was on the court, you have to really trust that he's going to go up and finish that one if you toss it from where he was. He started when Bryce looked at him, and he was not in the spot that you would think he was going to dunk it at, but he raced down the baseline, up the baseline to the basket.
Let's not take away from that Morissette dunk. I mean, he just swooped in and took that with one hand and just slammed it down.
This place is on fire right now. Riordan by 13 out of the timeout. And the defense has really picked up.
Dominic Wilson again.
And another lob. Oh, that was a bit too much. But 2 free throws coming. That was almost like you talk about heat checks where a guy's made a couple of threes and he just kind of says, to heck with it, I'm going to take another one. That was what that was. Jelani knew that wasn't the most simplest of plays, but I'll take a run at it. Why not?
Dominic Wilson playing another great defensive game. The last couple of breaks have been off of defensive steals by him. Athletic plays.
This place is buzzing, especially the students. Benny Willers, Jason Morris, Brian Kelly are all down there. They're trying to keep them at bay. Ryan Jones as well. Both free throws off. SI has it again, still trailing by 13. Ball loose. And they're going to say last touched by Riordan. Rob Marcoletti's going to get some new faces out there. Ryan Conroy, a sophomore, along with Malcolm McCray-Hill, senior. We're 2 minutes into this second half. Oh, what a nice finish high off the backboard by Wilhite.
That was a great finish over like Dominic Wilson's long arms.
Morissette out on the perimeter, and he just kind of stood there, and now the ball's free, and SI has it. Good defense by the Crusaders, and they've got it. Bryce Monroe, nice drive. Froze the defense at the three-point line and then ducked in for the layup.
Dominic Wilson was active on the defensive end, and Bryson Rowe was active on the break.
And a foul. I think that's on Lee Hubbard. That's 3 on Lee. He has given a ton of effort on defense, and he's having to guard the guy who's probably been the best player tonight for the Wildcats, King Wilhite. Hubbard's going to come out. Quantico's going to come in. Sean Quantico's been really solid on defense tonight. Wildcats trying to figure out what they want to do here. They get it to Toledo Rivera, who goes up and scores it away from the outstretched arm of Morissette.
It's really hard to get over his arms. His arms are unbelievably long.
It's incredibly loud in here. This is the most difficulty we've had talking during the broadcast to one another. Bryce Monroe on the step back, way off the mark. And here come the Wildcats.
I could barely hear my words when I was in the pregame.
That's a push-off and an offensive foul. Monroe got pushed off on. And now Hill taking up the floor here with 4:38 to go in the third quarter. Riordan on top 35-24. They led by 11 at the break. They lead by 11 right now. Lob, and that one was a bit overzealous. Wildcats have a chance here to cut it to single digits. They won't do it here. Monroe, ooh, what a pass to Quantico. He'll get it back from Sean. And then step in, missed it, went back up, but shoots two. Nifty play there by Bryce Monroe, and he'll get himself an offensive rebound and then 2 foul shots.
But that's what really separates Bryce Monroe and Jelani Clark from the rest of the pack. They're just going after their own rebounds, like going after their own shots. All this relentless energy. It's inspiring. It can lead to lots of momentum and lots of big-time plays.
So Clark is going to sit down, as is Morsek, Chan, and Reaney out there. I like when Joey Curtin sends them out there together. They've got good chemistry. They're different sorts of players. They play well together. 36-24. 3:40 to go here in the third. Riordan really defending well. And the good defense continues. Now Monroe down the near sideline.
Bryce Monroe pushing it again.
All the way up, but no good. And now SI will run. We'll have a dribble and a 3, and that's down. That triple gives us a single-digit separation at 36-27. Monroe in control of the basketball. Reaney's got it, stripped by McCray-Hill, and now King Wilhite lays it home. And how about this? A 7-point game at 36-29. Monroe. No look to Chan, who goes up, shot blocked off of Chan, and it's SI ball. So the Cats have really stepped it up here. And they're playing much better over the last couple of minutes.
SI kind of changing the swing of things, kind of changing the momentum in the last couple plays.
King Wilhite in possession, guarded by Monroe. He's going to get it outside to Kahn, and now he gets it back in his hands. Pull-up jumper, that's down. 5-point game. Jelani Clark's going to check back in at the next dead ball.
Bucket by him.
Monroe off to the right and short from about 17. And now we're going to have some subs. Monroe comes out. Clark comes back in. Hubbard will come back on as Dom Wilson sits down. So only a 5-point game here. It looked like Riordan was going to blow this thing open, but they didn't, and now the Wildcats have made a game of it. Final 2 minutes of the third, 5-point game, and the Wildcats, trailing by just that 5-point spread, have the ball. Now Marcoletti wants a timeout with 16 seconds showing on the shot clock. 1:39 on the game clock here in the third. SI hanging in here and really making a run here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. So SI right now in the midst of a 7-0 burst And they've got the ball out of the timeout. Shot clock down to 12. Outside it goes, 3 up and 3 off. And Chan tracks down the board. Big possession for the Crusaders here. They'll get a Reedy corner 3 that misses everything. Lee Hubbard steps in, and how about that? A steal and a layup, and Riordan breaks the 7-0 run with the layup. Hubbard with the basket, and it's 38-31, and now 2 foul shots coming for SI.
Lee Hubbard keeps on doing that. He keeps on getting them stuck in their own side.
Conroy, one of the sophomores on this team, at the line, and that one's too strong. Second foul shot is perfect, and we've got a 6-point game with just about a minute remaining here. 1 minute left here in the third quarter. Jelani Clark inside to Chan. Chan saves it somehow to Hubbard, who can't get it to go with the left hand. A whistle and a foul as Reedy was putting up the putback. We'll see what the call is. I'm going to say 2 shots off the putback attempt. First one is down. Reedy, who hit a couple of quick trigger threes back-to-back in the game last Friday against St. Francis. He's not afraid to shoot, but he's been solid tonight, and he hasn't kind of forced it too much. Great effort by Chan, and Riordan will get another shot at it here, literally, assuming they don't turn it over. They do get a shot. Chan from Reedy. 41-32, shot clock off, final 30 of the third quarter.
And Reedy and Chan developing like some chemistry there.
Crahill at the elbow, goes to the rim and gets fouled by Reedy. Tony Booker calls the foul. Reedy swatted it, but they say that he got the wrist or arm of McCray-Hill. I'm going to check on that big game between Mitty and Bellarmine when we get a chance here. At halftime, it was Mitty on top of the Bells, 30-26, but I'm sure Pat has a score here, so he'll get that to us in a bit. Second free throw rattles out. Riordan in possession. 8-point game, and Riordan will hold for the final shot. Under 10 here to go in the third. Jelani. No call. And the officials played that like they weren't going to call a foul unless somebody got mugged. And we will go to the fourth with the Crusaders up 41-33. And Cam, give the Wildcats credit. The Crusaders had that double-figure lead. They looked at complete control, and SI goes on that little 7-0 run. They changed the momentum, and Riordan did respond, but it looks like we have a game here going to the fourth.
Oh, yeah, Crusaders.
Monarchs. This one, of course, at Bellarmine. I'm sure it's festive there. It's rocking here. we look at the stats through 3 quarters.
Well, Riordan, SI actually shot better in the third quarter, shooting 5 for 10, and Riordan only shooting 5 for 15. Jelani Clark still the leading scorer for Riordan. King Wilhite for SI has got 18 points now.
So Riordan sends out its starting 5. Hubbard, Clark, Monroe, Wilson, and Seck. Brian Kelly drawing an area around the basket, the Dean of Athletics and Student Affairs. One of my dear friends, colleagues. Wildcats have Webster. We got Wilhite, McCray Hill, Keneally. As Seck goes inside, missed it. And Ryan Conroy also out there. Wildcats have a chance to get the fourth quarter started well. They can't get it there, though. Too strong on the 3 by King Wilhite. Clark skipped to Monroe. Bryce measuring it up. 2-point jump shot is way off the mark, but more Seck there. He got fouled. Tony Booker, I don't know what in the world he could have possibly been looking at, but he says that that was a clean play. Tip dunk attempt no good. Keneally flipped it up and in. Great pass, Monroe. Jelani Clark the dunk. What a response by the duo. Riordan back up 8. Jelani with another highlight dunk, and Bryce with another highlight pass.
A nice one-hand slam on there.
McCray Hill attacks Seck, leans in, and can't get it to go. Just the presence of the 7-footer there.
Jelani leading the fast break.
Clark out of control, somehow got it to Monroe for 3.
Very unselfish play by Jelani Clark. Off of a great dunk.
Timeout Wildcats. With 6:17 to go here, and Riordan has reasserted itself. Every time the Cats have gotten back into it, the Crusaders have reminded them which team is in first place in the WCAL. Timeout here on the Riordan Broadcast Network. So that timeout was a full timeout. The Crusaders in no real need to talk too much. They're feeling good right now with just about 6.25 minutes remaining in this one. Wildcats can make a run. They're going to need to.
If they do, it's going to be the freshman that's been leading them this whole game.
Ethan Jew lays it home.
Horsek a little too aggressive on that play, trying to get the steal. Couldn't get back.
We're not done yet. Bryce Monroe up and outside to Jelani. One hand pass to Dom Wilson. That's off the mark. Good passing there by Monroe and Clark. Webster out of control, but he retains possession. Shoots it high in the air and it drops down. And we're back to a 7-point game. Monroe. What a pass. What a look around the defender up in the air, and Dom Wilson with the finish. Jelani Clark usually has been the guy that has been the beneficiary of the passing from Bryce Monroe, but right there was Dom Wilson. Wilhite back the other way, too strong. Good effort by both teams, but SI comes away. Wilhite has it. He'll attack. Step around defenders and get it outside. Good defense by the Crusaders, but better offense by the Wildcats. And a three by Keneally, and it's a 6-point game with 4:45 left.
Crusaders cannot get a comfortable lead in this game. The Wildcats keep on bouncing back.
Riordan's got to run it. Good action here, get something good. That'll be good. I can't believe that Morsek was able to catch that and dunk it, but he did. That wasn't a true lob. That was more like a basic chest pass that went right toward Moore, and he somehow caught it in the air and dunked it. There's another good pass. That one by Keneally. Back to a 6-point ball game. No call. Monroe no good. Sek has it. Bodies on the deck. And they're going to say, whose ball? They're going to say Riordan ball, I think. As Chan's going to come on, and Justin Miller, who's been a defensive specialist off the bench in spots for Joey Curtin. He comes in, and now Joey Curtin will take a timeout. So 3:49 left. 4 fouls aside. It's 50-44. And the Crusaders now have 3 timeouts. The Wildcats can only have 1. So that's important to watch as the Wildcats try to scrap and claw to stay in this one. When you're trailing and don't have timeouts, that can be a problem late in ball games.
Joey Curtin bringing in Justin Miller, Chan Nayat, clearly trying to get some defensive stops here. Try to get this back to double-digit lead.
One thing about this Crusader team, they have played an amazing schedule. They always do, because if you play in the WCL, your schedule is going to be tough. Their non-league schedule is very tough. Their league schedule, of course, is very tough. And they've won all sorts of different types of games. And this one is another type of ball game. Big crowd, rivalry game. They're big favorites. They've controlled the game by and large, but the team hasn't gone away, and they haven't scored a ton of points. They've got to do what's needed to finish the ball game. 2-point jump shot, and that looked very easy by Jelani Clark.
Looked so smooth.
3.5 left here in regulation, and that's a travel, but not called. Not sure how that's not called. There's a block, and they're going to call a foul. Tony Booker from way behind the play has decided that that's a foul. Somebody rooting for the Wildcats just said, Tony Booker, you're the man. And I'm not making that up. They just said that. Second free throw is down. First one was off. 7-point game. Riordan with the ball with 3:20 to go. Rob Marcoletti imploring his team to defend, and they must do so if they want to have any chance to win and pull off this monumental upset. Jelani out to Dom. Steps in, got his own miss and puts it home. 3 minutes to go, and Riordan up 9. Wilhite down the lane, no good. That's a foul, and it's whistled. Chan went up, got the board, got fouled. That'll be the 15th foul against the Wildcats. Riordan has been whistled for 5, and we've got 2:48 left.
Riordan has a really good depth at the big man position. Chan has had a really good game defensively, and there's no lack on the bench. There's no weak spots for any big man on the team.
So the Wildcats have hung in, but time is of the essence. They are hanging back. And the clock is ticking now down to 2.5 to go. Monroe, one of the Rustani logos, turns down the screen. and scores it, plus the foul. And that might be the nail in the coffin. Of course, the Crusaders had a 10-point lead at Serra with about 2.5 to go after Sean Quantico hit that big corner three. And we know that they nearly gave that one up.
Serra gave them a scare at the end. I mean, like, Riordan was up by double digits in that fourth quarter, and then
free throw makes it a 12-point game. Lee Hubbard all over everybody right now guarding the ball, and King Wilhite down the lane, jump stop, got the pass away. SI still has it. Now Wilhite the floater, that's too short, and Chan comes away. Way down the court with the outlet. Hubbard, so smooth as he glides to the rim and says goodnight to the Cats, as that one most certainly will end it. 59-45. One-foot runner, no good. Floated up, no good. And getting his own rebound there was the young man, the sophomore, for the Wildcats, who I like a lot. He hit a three tonight. He's got a good game and a good future. That's Giancarlo Toledo Rivera. And now Riordan will have the ball, and Joey Curtin's going to go to his bench, as is Rob Marcoletti. And we're going to see Toyo Ekeno, and we're also going to see Mark Baer, and everybody wants to see Mark shoot a three, I'm sure. Mark's not a novelty act. He doesn't play a lot as a sophomore on this team, but he's a big-time shooter. It's not something where he's just a victory cigar guy. He can play basketball. There's a steal, and for some reason, Kahn sent the ball back instead of shooting a layup, and McCray Hills fouled on the block there by Chan, and will shoot two. Chan doesn't like the call. It's pretty much academic at this point, but I'm sure Chan's thinking, hey, multiple times tonight we've, in his view anyway, probably blocked shots that should have been non-calls, at least in the view of Chan, probably they were called fouls.
I can't really tell if those are fouls, but regardless, his long arms really showing.
So Riordan is going to win this one. They're going to improve to 17-2 overall. And I said at the top of the broadcast that they were 8-1. Then I corrected myself and said, no, they were going for an 8th straight win to get to 8-1, and it looks like indeed they will. The second free throw down, timeout. Full timeout. I believe that's the last timeout for the Wildcats here. So the band is playing and we're partying here on a Friday night. The Crusaders going to get their 17th win in 19 tries and remain alone in first place in WCL play as we continue to trudge through the gauntlet that is league play. We will be back here Tuesday night. Valley Christian will be here and we'll have that broadcast for you. 7:30 is scheduled tip time, and Cam, I'm anticipating you doing some play-by-play in that one. So 70 ticks of the clock remain here tonight. And Riordan, with a very strong fourth quarter, has put this game away. Jelani Clark's still out there along with Bryce Monroe. But it's Mark Baer everybody wants to see shoot a three, I think. Or get it to Toyo for a shot. There's Mark. There's a three. No good. Chan flies in, nearly got the board out of bounds off of number 10. and SI has it. So the Wildcats, little 2-game winning streak is going to come to an end, but they've got a good young team, and they've got a lot of basketball ahead of them. I think even this season they've got plenty to play for, and of course postseason coming up, and they'll be part of that. Riordan has it again. That's Rini out there running the point. Looking like a young Magic Johnson as he floats it up no good. Final 30 seconds. And the fans beginning their chant of na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. Justin Miller has it. Now Toyo. Now Bryce. Riordan is going to win this one, and we will sing the alma mater and go off into our weekend here on Super Bowl weekend with the Crusaders alone in first place in the WCAL at 17-2 overall and 8-1 in West Catholic Athletic League play. Cam, anything to add here before we get out of here?
Well, SI hung in more than I thought they would throughout the entire game, but they couldn't get enough swings. They couldn't get enough big runs to win this one.
So Riordan wins it 59-46, and we will talk with you again here on Tuesday night when we'll be back giving you coverage of varsity basketball in the West Catholic Athletic League as Valley Christian will be here from San Jose. 7:30 again the scheduled tip time on Tuesday night. Cam will be on the mic. I will be there. Benny Willers, our special guest on the mic as well. Should be fun. So from all of us here at the Riordan Broadcast Network, take care. The Crusaders with the win.